So fun.
I know. Some of you might have joined us 4 minutes ago at 9 when we said we are going to start, but it would have been a live broadcast with myself because I couldn't figure out how to get the dual on here. So thank you, Jamie, for being available for my phone call of like freaking out. Where is the second person? How are you doing? I mean, amazing. You fixed your hair.
Wonder Woman mug. I fixed my hair, but check this out. I only did this. I didn't even do this back here. So, and you have no idea what I'm wearing below my shirt. So that's the beauty.
I only did this. I brushed these suckers. I mean, you have no idea what they be looking like.
They are awesome eyebrows.
No. You saw Wonder Woman? I saw Wonder Woman this week.
I did. I loved Wonder Woman. Yeah, it was a date night. So we went, just the two of us, even though I had some begging sons. But yeah, loved it. And I got like my Wonder Woman cuff on even. I'm so inspired.
Well, I already told, I went with Ryan too. And I don't know if like I love the movie as much as I even just loved poking him at like every amazing moment. And when they started calling them Amazon women, I was like, oh my gosh, he's like, just calm it down. So yeah, Halloween, me and my 4 girls are all going to dress up like Wonder Woman together. And I told Ryan it would be next level if he did it too.
Yeah, right. I've been like doting Superman, Batman, Mr. Incredible, whatever, all for my boys. It's time for Wonder Woman to make some appearance in my home.
And them to support you and wear it too. Why not?
That's true.
We're secure ourselves. Oh my goodness. So just because, I mean, I've known you, like forever. College roomies right here. For those of you watching that have no idea, I have known. Yeah, those were our crazy years. I think we stayed up till like midnight. What?
What?
That was doubleheader movie time before Netflix and Hulu.
That's right. Friends reruns.
Yeah. And now, I mean, you're married for, how long have you guys even been married?
17 years.
That's ridiculous.
Almost 17 years.
Like a child bride. Child bride, all right?
That's right. 12. It was a range.
Oh. And then on top of that, now you have 4 boys.
Yes, indeed. 4 ages
that girl.
3 to 14. Actually, my 14-year-old will be 15 in a month, and he just started driver's ed.
Oh my
How's
gosh.
that?
Can't you in Montana? Can you still drive at 14? Get your license at 14 if you live on a farm?
Yeah, well, yeah, he could start at 14. It was like you had to be within 6 months of your birthday. So yeah, it's a little crazy. But you have to drive with a parent and stuff first, but definitely not the way we did it.
Montana rules, because you're not even from the state that you now live in, right?
Right. No, Montana does things differently. As you know, you grew up here, so we do different things here.
That's true. All right. I'm sure there's got to be some people from Montana watching right now. So if you are from Montana, including myself, but living there and watching at this moment, just give Jamie a couple little hearts so she knows you're there.
Oh, yes. Montana love. See, I can't see you. 17 in July for me. My son's almost 15.
I know. That's insane. Insane.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So I just, besides the 4 kids, besides all this, one thing I just want to get right into, I'm sure I've actually got some really interesting stuff that I'd like to ask Jamie live. She wanted me to know ahead of time, but I don't like to roll like that. And she knows me so long, so I'm not even feeling guilty. But when I showed up today at school, one of my friends was like, what is SVS? Are you selling it? I was like, yeah, we want to buy some. So, I mean, I'm already trying to sell something that I'm not even really selling anything yet, but that's the big question is like, what is this She's Velvet Steel?
Gosh, yeah. I feel like I have to start back where She's Velvet started, and it wasn't even called She's Velvet Steel at the time, and then go into where we're taking it. I don't know if you guys have read Ann Voskamp's book called The Broken Way. If you've never read one of Ann Voskamp's book, oh my gosh, she's like the most poetic, story within a story type writer. Anyway, drives some people crazy, but I love it. She had one line in there that I thought, gosh, that just describes the birthplace of She's Velvet Steel. She said that her dad told her this once, that for a seed to come fully into its own, it must become wholly undone. The shell must break open, its insides must come out, and everything must change. If you didn't understand what life looks like, you might mistake it for complete destruction. If you know me, and I said this in my profile, but I love themes, I love analogies, I love anything that has something that relates to it in the outside world. I love this idea of it was a seed, because I think everybody's got a seed of purpose and potential. It's all placed in there before we even started walking and talking. So there's a seed, but I feel like a lot of us get our seeds buried deep down in the dark, and we mistake that for it being dead or lost or gone. And all along, God is doing some things, nourishing that seed until it's time, the right time, when it is then released through brokenness, which is the next place where I feel like we get confused. Like, oh my gosh, I'm broken. Things are falling apart. If we didn't understand life, like this guy said, Anne's dad, it would look like complete destruction. And for me, several years ago, there was a lot of things, a lot of dreams, and a lot of ideas and vision that I had. And it was that seed. And God doesn't always let us in on all the plan. I kind of thought I was not a seed. I thought we were kind of growing and blooming and start ready to have some flower and some fruit. And really it was being buried. And so it was She's Velvet Steel, the vision, the idea came out of a broken place, out of a dream being buried, out of vision being buried. And I felt like it was like an avalanche on top of me, like all things had caved in and broken. And really I was becoming wholly undone so that my insides could come out and that potential and purpose could come out. And what's cool about that is that there was this thought then that maybe what I had gone through, maybe my story, maybe some of the things that God brought into my life, whether it be books, speakers, teachers, mentors, podcasts, maybe God brought those into my life for me to then pass on. I felt so alone during that time, but then it's come to my knowledge that I wasn't, that there are people that feel the same way, and they're feeling like that buried seed. So She's Velvet Steel then grew when I called a couple friends and that I knew had a similar heart, that I knew would get my heart and knew my story. And I knew that they had some seeds that had been buried. I knew that they had some dreams and some vision for their life, and we were waiting. And you were one of them. Jen was one of them. Gretchen, another. Jen knew Gretchen, but called, made some phone calls, and that's where it kind of caught on, right? Where we were like, let's do this. Let's do it together. Because I knew that this wasn't a one-woman thing. This was going to be, and it's not even the four-girl thing. This is going to be bringing in resources, right? People outside of our circle that have taught us and grown us. So that's where it was born, and the passion behind it. But the vision of where we want to go is we want to come alongside of those girls who maybe have some seeds and they're not sure about it ever breaking open, or maybe they are a broken seed and they're not sure about their brokenness, or maybe they've got some dreams and they're afraid to be planted. We want to come alongside of her and resource her. So doing free things like the comparison trap and helping her out in struggles, coming alongside of her and building her up. So we've got 3 areas that we really want to zone in on, and they're all I's for easy remembering: identity, influence, and intentional growth. We want to bring resources to dig in all 3 of those areas. So it may be a live video like this. It may be a comparison trap download. It may be a webinar series. It may be an e-course program that you register for. It may be a private group where we do some coaching. It may be a live event, which is where we want to get to. But we're going to, resource is the word, I guess, that encompasses all of that. We're going to resource those girls that have got that seed and they're ready to break open with purpose and potential in their life. Does that answer it?
I mean, I almost forgot everything when I realized that you're reading books without pictures in them. So that part, I was like, I'm still just reading my magazines and in the 5 seconds that I get. And I know you have 4 kids too, and you're blogging, so I don't know how, but I think, even when you first called me to talk about if I could put it in layman's terms, because I kind of feel like I could be the verbal, what is those little guides called? Like computer for dummies. Like I can break it down. Anybody can understand. That's how I get annoyed when my kids can't understand.
For dummies.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, in my mind, when I'm thinking of what you're even saying is you just said, you went through a difficult time, hard time. You're like, in your mind, you're thinking, I've got this stuff within me. I'm feeling broken. I'm feeling isolated. I'm feeling alone. How do I connect? Is it just me? And then as life goes on, you're kind of like, God's revealing to you like, hey, it's not just you. And there's other women out there that have amazing things inside of them, amazing potentials, like dreams, plans, visions, besides just, how do I make a healthy lunch for my kids? How do I, keep my marriage alive? Like just all that stuff inside you, and creating a forum and a community that champions that girl. Is that
totally? Yep, we're gonna bring the Wonder Woman out in the girls, right?
Absolutely.
She was so driven by purpose and love. That's why I loved her. Like we would be besties. She's Velvet Steel besties. So yeah, bring the Wonder Woman out in our girl.
I don't know. I mean, I think maybe part of what helped her was the crown. I feel like I asked that to Brian. Like, should we all just keep running around? Like, I mean, forget the headbands are kind of making a comeback anyways. But what if we just like did a little crown that went on it too?
Yeah, well, why not? I definitely think we should wear some crown.
We are getting some comments while we're doing this, and to point out one, my dad wants to know if I put makeup on. That's how real we are here, people. My own dad's logging in to see if I'm actually wearing makeup. No, well, yes, I am, but I forgot to fix my hair, so I'm still keeping it real. I like this little thing that you put on your profile, that you put your large dose of grit and a small scoop of glitter. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, that's had to be reined in a little bit. That was maybe part of my Amazon training. A large dose of grit.
Show those guns. We all want to see the guns right now.
Oh no, not in physical strength. No, yeah. The grit is persistence and a fighter. Like, knock me down, but I'm going to get up again. A setback is that setup for a comeback. Like it's pretty rough to get me, or pretty hard to get me off course once I'm set. So that grit is just a tenacity, persistence in me, maybe a little like a bulldog. So I definitely had to learn how to let go. So that's the grit side. The glitter side is I don't know, there's maybe a little bit of naive ignorance to me. And I kind of want to stay there a little bit. Like I don't like to wrap myself up in all world problems. Maybe just stay away from it a little bit, and just be a little more carefree. There's that side to me. I'm just a little bit of a contrast, like pretty hardcore, but then let's put on glitter and be, I'll sweat and be totally drenched, but then let's like be a little girly every once in a while. That's why I said it's like a small scoop, because it just shows up every once in a while. But that's what contrast is for, though, really, right? I mean, when you don't wear makeup, then you do wear makeup. Somebody's like, whoa. Same thing with my glitter. Like when I show the soft, fun, spontaneous glitter side of me, people are like, whoa, weird. She's not being gritty.
And they're like, that's in there? Yeah, I can totally agree with that. What one job do you think you'd be terrible at?
What one job would I be terrible at?
Probably one you wanted me to text you ahead of time.
I think anything that is, anything that I'm not passionate about, I wouldn't last long. I could stick with it for a while. But I think anything that's repetitive, assembly line kind of thing, where you just tapped into motherhood. You can't get out of that. So anybody that's thinking the thing about motherhood is it is unpredictable. Okay, like you don't get to clock in, clock out, but it is no assembly line. I thought after my third boy, when I found out I was going to have Liam, my fourth, I thought I got this in the bag, but he has thrown me off my game. There's no predictability. So that is different than an assembly line, right? Other than like the making of the meals and wiping butts. I mean, all of that's repetitive, but yeah, I couldn't do assembly line. There's no interaction too, there's no like being with people. I think the other thing too that I couldn't do is be a customer service representative with people that complain about things that seem like first world problems. I just don't have compassion for that at all. And that's the gritty side of me. There's no glitter in whining. And so I'm that way with my kids too. Like I can handle like this much whine and then done. So I'd be fired.
It's like this much whining from the kids equals this much whine from
yeah. Wonder Woman mug changes from coffee to something else.
Exactly. Well, one thing that I find interesting in what you're talking about is, like we talk about our jobs and talk about glitter and the grit, and you talked about where She's Velvet Steel came from, but part of it is now, like today, are using the platform of Facebook, and you're already, I mean, you're actively involved. You've been blogging and having your own Facebook page, for I don't even know how long, but doing I actually am part of your online training. I'm gonna start soon. I love to join everything. I feel like joining, I've already like worked out just because I've joined,
Yeah.
I was the best member for 5 years. I think I came twice, but no more. But do you think you started this out as the comparison trap with this whole, do you think the online has made, the need for women to be more connected, even though we're connected more, a bigger priority?
Yeah. It's funny because prior to the last couple of years, I started my online health business 4 years ago, and I never had even fathomed of going online. It was my friend Laura Thomas, actually, that she's like, you got to take what you do and put it online. She's an incredible online business owner and has been my business mentor. And she said, let's package up what you do and put it online. Never would have thought about it prior to that point. Thank God she did. That was a part of that seed, and some little germination happening there. But what I realized, and I didn't know if I could really take what I had done and was doing, because it was so personal, and put it into an online setting. But what I realized is I could with the use of social media. And thank goodness Periscope kind of started the live video thing for me, which the live gave me an opportunity to interact and to hear from people in real time. That changed everything for me. And then, of course, Facebook followed suit really shortly thereafter. And look at what we're doing now, 2 of us on live. So what that has done has opened up a whole new world for me, because it wasn't just my one-on-one client in the gym where they had a membership in the town that I lived. And then it was no longer me trying to advertise a website here, come to this and see, where they didn't really have any personal relationship with me. I could build relationship right here online. You could hear my voice. Sometimes it's hard to tell behind the text who someone is. So I could do video and we could get to know each other and build relationship and do life together, even though you're in California and I'm in Montana. So it totally changed everything. So in my business, right? And the online business world is just blowing up. So for She's Velvet Steel, I feel like God can take this beyond geography, and that's part of the vision, and that's part of the cool aspect of this is it's not, I even though I'm in the 4 walls of my home a lot, I feel like I get to reach outside of the 4 walls of my home. I don't get to leave my home often, but no, but I feel like I have relationship and can be part of people's lives outside of where I'm at, which is just so cool.
No, absolutely. And speaking of, because I don't know if this must be a Montana thing that started since I've left, and because in California, you mentioned something about brookies. I was like, is that a brownie cookie? Is that what a brookie is? Is it?
Yeah, I know. It's a little, so here's the contrast. Remember I told you I'm kind of like, never know.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm predictable in some ways, but then every once in a while I like to throw you off your game. So I'm a personal trainer, but I love brookies, or like a really good dessert. And it doesn't even have to be fancy. I love brookie. how do you not know what a brookie is? Right, Tessa? Okay, we need to. Here's what I've decided, Regan. Also in my profile, I said Disney. You're like right close to Disney. I know it's not your jam, but we can do your jam at night, whatever. Girls trip to Disney. You,
Oh my
me,
God.
Gretchen, and Jen, Disney. And I told Jen I would supply the brookies. Brookies are a brownie base, must be soft, fudgy, and chewy, with a chocolate chip cookie layer on the top, together as one bar cookie. What? Sounds like it's a little over the top, but it is like heaven in a bar.
That has not been on any of your food health things that you've sent me over the years trying to help me. I mean, this is why we're besties for these things, okay?
I do bonded over cookie dough rolls. You know what I'm saying? Don't you
Right.
remember? Like there was some
Absolutely.
sadness happening in college. I don't remember what we were sad about, but we were sad about something. Probably
It was
boys.
boys. It was
Boys.
boys.
And brought the Toll House cookie dough roll, and we ate that. I mean, you know, there can be bonding over brookies. I'm quite confident.
Yes, no. Well, and I think that's one of the things that we found, like with women, is like, this online forum, like just seeing the realness of who people are.
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
wow. So even somebody's son knew what a brookie was.
yeah,
Okay, well, I appreciate that everybody knows. All right. Oh, and somebody's husband thought it was a fish. All right, well, I'm just glad to know that not everybody knows what brookies are.
maybe we should create an SVS brookie day. And I'll post a recipe or post places you can get it. And we can all celebrate together. That'll be one of our when the four of us get on in July, we'll have brookies and coffee.
We'll each be making them at the same time. Don't you love those shows where they show you like all the ingredients and it's a commercial and you come back and they're all eating it and they're like, this tastes so good. Oh,
Right.
we're doing that. I mean,
Right.
I just want to let everybody know, like in here, it's water because I don't drink coffee and I have no hot chocolate at home. But I'm like, I'm going with the mug. I like it. This is like a little Kelly Ripa. How are you doing today? Oh, it's such a good weekend.
You totally are Kelly
Wonder Woman.
Cuter.
But I just, one of the like interesting like questions that I had is like, it's probably more interesting for me because I'm trying to think. It was like, what song do you know all the lyrics to? Do you have completely memorized?
Oh, that question is not just like what song. For some reason, well, I mean, you could probably imagine like words get trapped in my head for good and for bad. So you say something bad to me and that will be trapped in my head. I will be able to repeat it verbatim. Be careful. Eric hates that. I'll repeat exactly what he said 3 months ago. Words get stuck in my head. So when there's cool words like this, they get stuck in my head. And so words to a song, like the whole thing of like the earworm, I constantly have a song playing in my ear over and over. If I hear it more than a couple times and it's got a good beat or I am drawn to it, I can memorize it after listening to it a couple times. So,
Oh my gosh, I still have to keep my eyes open and worship at church. And I was raised in church for songs because I'm like, what was that? I messed up on Blessed Assurance and that song's been around forever. But I went to Boys to Men this weekend.
woo!
Yeah. And NK, New Kids on the Block, NKOTB, NKTOB, whatever. There was just a lot of stomach muscle showing. That's not my group, Boys to Men. Oh, Abdul. It was amazing how many songs I did know, but that's one of the things I pretty much only know the choruses to stuff,
End of the road.
Oh my God, they sang it. I cried, and people were staring at me.
I totally did
Thank you. All right. I still messed up even a little bit on that, but I told my husband, I was like, at least I know 70% of the lyrics.
That's right. I cry to music all the time. Maybe that's why it gets stuck in my head. It's tied to an emotion.
I don't know. I'm the exact opposite, I feel, because it is tied to an emotion. But I think that's, again, just part of what SVS is about. If, like, people are watching, we're not the same. There's exactly, I think the contrast and just realizing, like, women out there, I don't know, the older, we had the same discussion about, the circle of your friends gets smaller and smaller the older you get because you're just busy. You've got life. You've got kids. I mean, you're juggling. You've got 4 kids, one being a teenager, your youngest. So your age gap with your oldest being 15 to your youngest is at 3.
Yeah.
Very high. And I think we had a discussion about how we don't have any more kids, right?
Taken care of. Boom.
Boom. Tie it up. Cut it out.
Yeah.
No, that's how we did it after our fourth girl. So anybody on here that
Jen and the Weenie World. I do kind of feel like there should be a theme song for the Weenie World. I mean, why not? We've got to get themes for everything. So, but Weenie World just kind of sounds like the beginnings of a good tune, you know? Just saying. Well, get started on that, Jen.
And there you go, Lindsay. There's no judging here. That's the other thing about Cheese Velvet Steel.
No judgment zone, Lindsay Kelly.
I am a pastor's kid, but yes, I do know more Boyz II Men, obviously, than worship songs. I don't know. Who knows? Okay. At any point during any song, I can sing Watermelon and look amazing.
That's right. It can all look like you're doing it right.
It's all
you're
good.
Going on too, you know, what difference does it make?
Exactly. One other thing I want to kind of like touch on is because you have we're really just talking about the She's Velvet Steel, but I know just on your side of the personal trainer side, what do you think is the most annoying question you get asked? Is it because you're standing in a line, you're talking to somebody, they find out you're a personal trainer, and then they're just wanting free advice? You know?
Yeah.
I told you my bottom was wiggly, and I was like, how do I get that to stop? You're like, I'm just calling to talk to you about my marriage, but now I want to know about my wiggly bottom. What's your most annoying question you get asked?
Oh my goodness. Gosh, I might out some people now if I say it, but just so you know, I mean, it's maybe annoying might be a strong word, but it's one of those, maybe I've repeated the answer over and over. And I guess it's one of those areas that I don't relate to anymore at this stage in my game. I get asked the question of how do I get my abs to show, or how do I get rid of everything in my midsection so that I can have awesome abs? I get asked that a lot, especially from women. And I get it. I mean, I've had 4 kids, so I understand not wanting to have that. But at this point, I'm like, I don't know,
is it Garcinia Cambogia?
What?
Is it Garcinia Cambogia? I want to know that because it keeps popping up on my newsfeed. Garcinia Cambogia, all right? Is that the key? Right now, I just want somebody to tell me before I buy any more of those little pills.
Yeah, that's right. Tell me what I can swallow. No, sorry. It's a lot more to it than the crunches, the sit-ups, and taking a pill. So yeah, I get that question a lot. That and just any other target. How do I make the backs of my arms look better? How do I, target zoning the exercise, or hoping that there's some kind of answer for their area. That's what I get asked a lot,
We all have an area.
We all have an area. Oh yeah, for sure. I've had clients that their area was the right behind their elbow. Literally that was the area that bothered them. They had extra skin or fat there or something. I would never have even noticed it, but whatever. This was her thing. She's like, I just want to, especially right here. She wanted to tone up the whole back of her arm, but right up above her elbow. So, I can't even see it when you stand in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Lindsay, how do I raise my butt? Stand up and raise your butt.
There you go. That's my single sister. So everybody's out there.
I love it. It's probably of the viewers we have, mostly family members, the She's Velvet Steel team, and our best friends or something.
Yeah. But that's not to say later that you guys won't be tuning on to know a little bit more. If you had one thing as we kind of come to a close of that you would want people to know about you, be your biggest misconception. I mean, honestly, I feel I would know the biggest misconception that people had about you, just knowing you myself. But what would you say you feel like? I mean, I think the whole glitter thing, that you can be fun and love to eat cookies and brookies, or, brownies and cookies together. I know every woman that's done any training with you will be shocked to hear that. Okay. And we all want to see you eat one. Tape it next time.
Gosh, I wish I could narrow it down. I feel, unfortunately, and this isn't a wah, wah, but and I think that this is something a lot of girls can relate to, that are that have those seeds and those dreams and those passions, and they go for it. I feel like I get misunderstood a lot, or that people think that they know me social media, right? They think that they know me, but they don't really know me. or they assume that they might understand my perspective but don't. So I would say one thing probably that I'm trying to get better at, actually. Several years ago, especially going through those broken seasons, I realized that brokenness was not only for my benefit, but it's those broken places, that part of our story can be fashioned as an instrument for someone else's freedom. So I've been working at being more vulnerable, because I think a misconception is because I teach goal setting, because I teach, life coach type things. I teach habit change, and I teach mindset change, and I teach, being intentional about who you are and what you're meant to do. I think people think maybe that I have it all together all the time, or that everything's scheduled, everything's planned, everything's goal set. I reach goals there, over and over. And I just, and I don't have hard times, or I don't struggle with my thoughts, or I don't struggle with feeling rejected, or those kinds of feelings. In fact, yesterday, I'm just going to be real right now. Why not, right? Yesterday, I was struggling with feeling rejected for a stupid reason. So I would think that probably, just because of the nature of what I do, I think that would probably be the biggest conception is that those things are a part of my process, and they should be a part of everyone's process, but I am in process. And I want people to know, like, I'm in the process with everyone, linking arms, and somebody else is probably further along than me, and you're probably have better perspective on acceptance and rejection. But maybe I have different area or experience in something else. So that's what linking arms together is so powerful, because we're better together. We're stronger together. My weakness is somebody else's strength, and my strength can pick up somebody else in their weakness. So.
No, I totally agree. You had posted something too that I had rolling around in my head literally all yesterday night, brought me to tears when I was going to bed praying. And I'm on my period, people, so I'm surprised I haven't cried throughout this whole thing. Like, just, and I've had 4 kids, so my hormones are like, boom, off the charts, all right? Oh, my dad's going to want me to edit that. All right. It's called #struggles of a father that's on Facebook more than I am, okay?
#no filters here. No filters.
Yeah, no filters. But you had posted about just struggling with being happy for, like, other people, like our friends, when they're doing amazing and we're not doing amazing. And I just thought to myself, I'm a very confident person. That's why I rarely wear makeup. I don't know. It's honestly, I think sometimes it's just something that God just gave certain people, but we struggle with something else, And when you said that, I just thought, wow, I don't know if it's the older that I get, the more insecure that I'm feeling, or if it is because we have this constant thing with Facebook that we can always see the perfect picture of somebody's life, literally the perfect outing that they're doing. Like, for 1 minute, I actually thought I was having a great day when, I let my kids eat cereal for lunch. I was like, look at how awesome of a mom I am. And then I look online on Facebook, and my friend took all of her kids to the ice cream museum in LA. And I'm like, I suck. We don't go anywhere because I don't want to leave the house with you 4. All right. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, no, instead of like being sad about that, I literally need to just hit the moment, like you said, of just start rooting people on. Countercultural. I think that's the thing we didn't even really talk about, but, there's been a lot of posting about, the She's Velvet Steel girl. We're countercultural girl. We're not going to go with the flow. We're not going to be, we're only doing good if we can compare it to somebody else that's doing bad. Mm-hmm. And I just, that's just my own thing that you just said. And I just it's been rolling my mind. So
yeah, I love the counterculture. I think in our world, especially in the business world or online world, it's competition. And that's just kind of a form of comparison, really. And I'm not saying that you can't be competitive. There's some health in competition, but it's all in how you see it. And I saw it as a threat, and that's just a scarcity mindset. It's an insecurity, and it truly is a filter that I was seeing through. So yeah, and I'll be honest, there are times in new ways that still comes up that I still go, what? like how I'm doing everything they're doing. How is it them? Like they proclaim that they're this, but are they really? Like I start to question and be kind of a jerk. And so God's really nice to remind me of my jerk moments, but I find way more power, way more passion and unity and excitement when we do band together, when I do put myself around somebody like you, somebody like Gretchen, somebody like Jen, who you are clearly better than me in other areas. I like that. I'm really glad that you guys are, because you push me, you challenge me, you encourage me, you draw out the best of who God made me to be. Not that I'm going to become like you, but it encourages me to just let God be God in my strengths and in who he made me to be, So that's countercultural, So that's our girl.
That is our girl. Wow. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. And helping me figure out how to get us both on here instead of me just like doing this by myself.
You did good.
We do still, even though we do have some of our friends on, anybody, we're going to take one question for Jamie. I'm going to choose it. So please feel free. Could be about Jamie, could be even about what we've talked about. She's Velvet Steel. Is anybody still thinking we're selling leggings with an SVS on the side of them? Because I am. Right? I'm going to put a little marker on my leggings, my homemade, but $40.
We might make some shirts though. I mean, how can we not? That logo that 282 Creative did is so awesome. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of need a shirt, but no, it's not a legging.
Will it make me look a little bit bigger? Can it come with like built-in paddings
up on top? Oh my gosh. While we're waiting for any questions to come through, I have to tell you this. This might be a great way to like go out. Yesterday at church, I was wearing a shirt that came in up to my neck, so it was like open this way. So I had to wear a strapless bra. Doug Kelly, go ahead and just get off now.
Get off, Dad. Off.
Goodbye to all men. Anyway, so worshiping, my hands up. It was so good. I was like crying. Noah kept pulling my hair back to see if I was crying. Anyway, I don't know. I took a deep breath, and when I let it out, it slid down like 3 inches. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I put my arms down, and I'm trying to hold it with my arms all the way through. And there was just another song that I just got caught up, and it went down to my waist. So, and you can relate to this. I don't have a lot going on top. And so I try to
Whoa now. Okay. A team here. A team girls.
So I try to help them out every once in a while. So that help was now showing up at my waist in this dress. And I was sitting front row, second row, like, right in front of the stage. So I'm like, now what? I can't like just do this all the way up to the top. Anyway, when he asked us all to pray, I took my opportunity. So anyway, why did I say that? I don't know. Just a funny story.
No, you know what you need to get? I just bought it off Facebook. I haven't yet tried it. Is the one where you like, it just sticks to you. It doesn't go around your back, and then you like braid it in. I don't know if anybody else has seen that, but you just braid it in, and it's supposed to like.
No.
We might just think on how she's Velvet Steel, how countercultural we want to be. We might do it. All right. One last quick question, because I was actually wondering this too. So, every mom, every woman out there that is busy wants to know this.
Jamie's house.
I'm looking behind you, and I'm like, honestly, like, is there like a secret clean genie behind you? I mean,
okay, so I have I let my boys have messes, and then I have either a laundry basket or a bag. And I usually have now that they're home for the summer, it'll probably be like twice a day, but like once a day, especially for my little ones, that I go around and they go around with me, and we dump everything that they've gotten out into that laundry basket, and then we team it up and we put it away. And so I'm always telling them, I'm like, I'm good with messes, but every mess you make, you're going to be cleaning up. Just know that ahead of time. So, and I only try to let them have like 1-2 rooms at a time completely destroyed, but that's not always in my control. My office, however, I do not let them play in here. So if you're comparing it to this room, it's because I don't let them in here. There's too much stuff that they can mess up. My big boys come in here to get alone. but little boys don't play in here. So just let me open my door for you. I'm sure that there's a mess outside my door.
All right. Well, next time we might start walking through each other's houses, minus mine. But all right. Well, thank you everybody for logging on, for just kind of getting Jamie, especially for giving us like a little brief rundown of what She's Velvet Steel, and it's going to get more and more information to be passed on throughout the weeks. So
Yeah.
send us comments throughout the day on this. Please pass this post along. Make sure if you haven't gotten the freebie, they can just go get that directly off, because I know some people were missing it, didn't get the comparison freebie, that book.
Yeah,
we have. It's
the link's
phenomenal.
on the profile. So just go in, click that link, put your email in there, and done.
You'll get it. All right. Have a great day.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, cheers.
All right, cheers. Bye.